Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to this channel. I am Fokam Tebo, your family systems engineer. Like I said, we are going to talk about intimacy, and we are looking into this topic by defining it from its acoustic definition. That means defining it according to the letters that make up the word intimacy, what I stands for, what N stands for. So we're going to discover all that. So according to this definition, how I define intimacy, I define it as investment in nurturing trust, intentionality, and mutuality via affection and communication, thereby yielding to each other. I'll take that one more time. Investment in nurturing trust, intentionality, and mutuality through affection and communication, thereby yielding to each other. So we're going to dissect this definition and see what each means and how it helps us in building intimacy in the marriage. Stay tuned as we go through this series. God bless you. Thank you for showing up. Let's start with the first letter, I. I stands for investment. Investment talks about putting in the required effort. It's not just putting effort, just doing, but what is required to the dimension that is required. How often do you invest? How do you invest in your marriage? What kind of investment are you making to be one with your spouse? To be one with your spouse, there are things that you may have to give up. There are things that you have to stop. There are things that you may have to start doing. There are things that you have to pay for. There are things that you have to stop paying for. So, what are you investing? There are things that you need to grow in. And sometimes to grow, you need to pay a class, you need to pay a coach, you need to learn from someone who knows. So, investment is you putting in the required effort to make it work, to bring yourself to that place of oneness. So, let us remember to become one, as the Bible says, the two are made to become one. It takes a process. In the reality, it takes time. So work it out. If you need to buy books, buy books. If you need to attend coaching lessons, attend coaching lessons. If you need to talk to someone who has results, talk to someone who has results. But make the investment that is worthwhile. Thank you. To cultivate means you have to plant, you have to take care of, you have to weed, you have to watch, you have to observe, you have to shape, you have to give it what it takes to grow into what it should become. To nurture, you have a picture in mind and you have a direction you are giving whatever you're nurturing to get to. So, how are you investing in nurturing this marriage? Intimacy is something that must be nurtured. You build it with time, you build it with resources, you build it with effort, you build it spiritually with prayer, you build it with wisdom, you build it. So, how are you building? You must be building your marriage in something that is great. Building to become something that is great. What is the image you have for the marriage? What is the image you have to, when you talk about the two become one? What's your picture? What's your view? What's your understanding about that? The two become one. What do you think about it? What is it like to you? When you don't have the right end in the mind, then the right direction may be hard to take. So, get time to nurture. You can't nurture without observation. You can't nurture without giving, without putting in what the right environment for growth. Like we used to say in primary school, right? Conditions necessary for seed germination. Yeah, you are planting the seed of love, but how are you nurturing it? So make sure you get some attention to nurture. Now the next letter we are looking at is the letter T. T stands for trust. Trust talks about safety and reliability. Are you building trust? Now, before someone gets married to you, before you get married to someone, there's a level of trust that is accorded to get into that covenant. But when you get into that covenant, the next part of trust is about it's being earned. The larger part of trust is earned. It is not just given like it was on the day of the wedding or before the marriage. There are things that will stop happening if trust stops. There are things that will stop happening if you stop earning, you stop being trustworthy. So, how do you build trust? You need to build trust by keeping your word, number one. What you say you do, do it. By having integrity, by being who you say you are, wherever you are. If people define you in 3-4 places and they give 4 definitions different about you, and there's nothing consistent about you in all those things they said, in your character, you may lack integrity. So build trust. Wife, what you say you do, do. Husband, what you say you do, do. Be the same at home as the same in church. Some forget that they are still what they believe they are in whatever religion they are. If you are a Christian, if you are that good sister in church, be the same in the house. If you're that good brother in church, be the same in your home. Be known for one thing, or be known as one everywhere you are. Be known as one everywhere you are. So, let's move on to the next letter. There we come again to another I. The other I stands for intentionality. So you're nurturing, we're talking about investment in nurturing trust, intent and intentionality. So intentionality. What is intentionality? Deliberately pursuing connection. Be intentional. Be an intentional husband. Be an intentional wife. Do the things you have to do intentionally. Yes. That means have in mind what you have to do. Have motive for doing it. What makes something unintentional is lack of motive. Lack of motive. When there's no motive, people just roll. Things just happen and they just see things as they are and they just keep going. So have motive of being a husband and be a husband who has direction. Intention is also seen by how you move with direction and vision. So to build intimacy, you need intentionality. Yes, sometimes there are days that you won't feel like you should have anybody around you, but you know you are in a covenant, and therefore the person around you will always be around you. So don't act as if you don't know into what you got yourself. So be intentional. Be intentional. Putting things together to get the right result. Don't just have a home, a house. Have a home. So be intentional. Let's move on to the next letter. We're still on the subject of intimacy, and we said we are building, it is an investment in nurturing trust, intentionality, and mutuality. The next letter is mutuality. Mutuality talks about a shared and balanced relationship. You're not in a relationship all by yourself. You're not in a relationship just with yourself. There's another person in this relationship with you, your husband or your wife or your husband. In this relationship, don't think about yourself first. Think about the other first. But be balanced. It is both ways. It is loving yourself as you love the other, or loving the other as you love yourself. I'll put it like that. Loving the other as you love yourself, and putting the other first. Esteem ye one another more than yourself. So let it be about those. What if everybody is thinking about what is good for the other partner? Then both of you will always have things right. You always have it correct. You always have it good. If you're thinking of how to make the other person comfortable, okay, and doing what is right for the other person, and the person is doing the same for you, then your wife, your husband will be at peace. You, both of you, will have this bond. It will be strong. Mutuality, be balanced. Don't always think on one side. There are times where you have thought of the other. Also, sometimes you need to think of yourself. Yes, it's not wrong. You think of yourself so that you can be there for the other. In that sense, you think of yourself because you have life to live and you have other things to do. In marriage, there must be mutuality. It's a relationship for two. It's the two become one, not the halves that became one. So, even if they two halves. So, let's move on to the next letter. Now, this investment in nurturing trust, intentionality, and mutuality is through affection. Affection. A stands for affection. What is affection? Emotional warmth and physical care. Emotional warmth and physical care. Showing that you love. Loving indeed. Yeah. Being present, being there. Not being in the shadows. When we talk about affection, it's a demonstration that I love you. A demonstration of I love you. I love you, so I do this. I love you, I do this. I was shocked to know that I thought my wife was cooking because she loved cooking. I was shocked to know one day that our cooking is because she loved us, me and the kids. That was affection. You know, she didn't like cooking all the time, but she cooked because she loved us. So I do take my own turns while I jump in the kitchen and do one thing or the other to show that I also love her and also care. So what are the things you do to show affection? You can let me know in the comments how you show affection. So let me know how you show affection, how you show intention, how you demonstrate mutuality, and how you build trust. Some people have interesting ways. And this affection, please, don't show it only when you want to go into the other room, when you want action in the evening. No, let it be a lifestyle. Is this idea of showing this affection only when people want to have intimate, physical intimacy that has made many people think that intimacy is only about sex. No. That's the wrong idea. It's about becoming one. Becoming one. Let's move on to the next letter. So in this next letter is communication. The investment in nurturing trust, mutuality, intentionality, and mutuality through affection and communication. Communication. Oh, this is very, very important. Because you need to understand the one you're communicating to. Yes, communication talks about openness and honest expression. But now, he also talks about how to communicate, how to make the other know your love, your intentions, your motives. Also know that this thing you are doing is trustworthy. Communication is how you show up. How you say what you say, how you mean what you mean, and how you make it understood. Are you speaking the language the other person understands? Many people don't have any idea of their love languages. And so many also are not all-rounders. There are some that are all-rounders. They are so good that any love language they'll speak, so they are speaking all. But some are strong in some. And now love is supposed to be communicated in the language of the receiver, not so much in the language of the giver. How does the person see love? Do you communicate love like that? Your affection, all the things you're trying to do, is it in the way that is speaking love in the way the person understands? Yeah. I just spoke about cooking and how I enter the kitchen sometimes, because acts of service is one of my wife's love languages. I think number one. So showing that you help, showing that you are there. When communication breaks down, everything breaks down. Nothing is seen. Misinterpretation, misrepresentation, misunderstanding enters in, and A is saying 1 and B is understanding 4. So check your communication. If you don't know how to communicate right, you can write me or get to me, and I'll hook you up, and I'll set up a meeting and we can talk about it, how to proceed. So let me know what you think communication plays in intimacy. Many people have desires in their heart that they never voice out, expectations that they have never expressed, but they want to be intimate. No, intimacy, you need to open. You need to let your visions, your desires, your expectations open up. Let it be known what you intend or what you desire. Your fears, your joys, what makes you going, what keeps you going. So understand your communication style, and then you're on a good foot of building, or when it's right, you're on a good foot of building intimacy. Let's move to the final letter. Okay, finally we are here at the last letter, letter Y, which stands for yielding. Yielding. Yielding talks about willingness to compromise and to prioritize each other. I talked a little about it when I talked about mutuality. Now, yielding is about submitting yourself one to another. Everyone in their role, doing what they have to do. Now, marriage is not about equality. Marriage is about equity. Yes. The husband is not the wife is not the husband. They have different roles. And if each other plays their role, they have submitted themselves to each other. And if all of them are thinking of each other, then they are submitting themselves to each other. I want to make my queen happy, or I want to make my queen joyful. I want to make my queen at ease. I want to help her. I want her to flourish. I want her to become the best she can be. Or I want to make my king the man he's supposed to be. I want him to feel that energy, that strength. I want him to go out there in the world with his head held high. No, many women look down on the man others are seeing like a king, like a boy. That's wrong. And some look at the wives that is supposed to be their queen, like a maid. So please, this part of intimacy it comes out when the others have been built. This comes out when the others have been built. But also, it must be the intention at the beginning. It must be the intention at the beginning. Also, why can stand for yearning. Yearning for each other. Yearning for each other. Some men, when they close work, they don't want to go home early. They don't yearn for their wives because, when they go, they're going to meet other things, not just their wives. Other things will come up. Yeah. So you need to yearn for each other. You love going home. There are signs that show that intimacy is broken. Oh, it's not in the bedroom. It's not in the bedroom. If you have a working bedroom and the rest are, because you see people also who are in issues that are unresolved, yet they're having kids. So it's not about, it's because intimacy is broken. In the larger part, that part may still happen because two of you are there and there's chemistry and all that. Intimacy is not just about that chemistry. So as we wrap it up, I want to help you to build this intimacy. So there's an ebook that I'm releasing shortly, and it's talking about 30 ways you can build intimacy. And knowing that building intimacy is not only about the bedroom, it's more than that. So from all that I've shared, let me know which one stands out to you the most. I'd like you to be a follower if you're not a follower. Like, share, subscribe. You'll see on TikTok, you'll find me there at Focamtable. You'll find me on YouTube, Focamtable or Vision Inspire. You'll find me on Instagram at Focamtable and on WhatsApp. If you're a man, I have a group of husbands that you may like to join, and let's learn together. If you're a woman, if you're a wife, my wife has a group of women for wives called Deborah's Mantle.